Hey guys, Brandon Adams here from Major League Bowhunter. Tyler stopped by the booth to say hi, and what an awesome young man. He wanted to tell me a little bit. He wanted me to tell y'all guys a little bit about myself. I do the production for Major League Bowhunter. Been doing all production since the beginning, 7 seasons now. Been doing production work myself for, I don't know, 8 or 9 years, and man, loving every minute of it. It's a great job to have. Just pretty blessed to be where I am, and make sure you guys subscribe to Tyler's channel. He's got an awesome thing going on, so click and subscribe.
I'm here with Duff from Major League Bowhunter. We're out back at the National Wild Turkey Federation, and I was just going to ask him a few questions. How did you get started in the outdoor industry?
Well, I grew up hunting like you're doing now in Mississippi with my dad, and then I went and played professional baseball for 13 years, and through baseball I met a lot of guys that like to hunt and fish like I did, and Chipper Jones, as you know, who's my partner in Major League Bowhunter, him and I got to be good friends because I had a place down in Texas that I was guiding deer hunts. So I ran into Chipper down there, and every year we would do an annual duck hunt in Arkansas, and then we would go to Texas for one more trip before we had to get back to baseball. And one year when we were in Arkansas at Buckshot Duck Lodge, all the boys from Duck Commander were there. Willie and Phil and Jace and Jeff. And Willie actually was getting ready to start Buck Commander. So everybody knows Duck Commander had been around a long time, and I had been videoing hunts with me and Chipper just with a camera I bought, and I would edit it, you know, I taught myself how to edit a little bit like you're doing, you know, with iMovie, and then progressed, and so I was making these little highlight reels with whatever I filmed during the year with myself and Chipper. So we had a lot of cool stuff from Texas, and I was actually just showing the guys from Realtree. Bill Jordan was there, a bunch of them, and I showed him the video, and Willie saw it, and he said, hey, you guys ought to be a part of this Buck Commander, are you interested? And Chipper and I both, you know, were very interested. So to make a long story short, we were one of the original owners of Buck Commander, me and Chipper and Willie Robertson and Admiral Roach. So I basically retired from baseball that next year and moved down to Louisiana and really learned how to progress my editing. I already knew how to hunt and do all the filming stuff, kind of, I guess you'd say, bootleg style a little bit. I didn't have any professional training, but we produced the Buck Commander DVDs, and that was one of my jobs, was the production of that, along with Jordan Summit, who's still a Buck Commander. And he had some professional schooling for editing and helped me with that. But we launched Buck Commander in 2006. And then in 2010, we had the idea for Major League Bowhunter and be a more educational type show. So Chipper and I branched off, and we started Major League Bowhunter, and now we're in season 7. So, you know, obviously we've got the booth here at NWTF, and we're out back because it's so many people in there. This show's been growing and growing, and so is the outdoor industry. And to have a 14-year-old, how old are you? That's what I thought, 14, already having an interest in this is really cool to see. And, you know, because when I was growing up, I mean, the hunting shows, it was VCR tapes and things, and now with the social media aspect and your YouTube channel, I mean, everybody can hunt that can, you know, film, and the quality of the cameras are so good. So, you know, you already started. You know, you don't need any of my advice. So.
What's your most memorable hunt that you ever had?
Probably my most memorable hunt, I mean, I can go way back to like my first deer hunt with my dad, but one of my favorite hunts to this day was actually this year on my home farm where I grew up, and I had my little brother, who is about 3 years younger than me, and his son, who's 9 years old. We were all in a ground blind together on the family farm that, you know, my mom and dad were staying at their house, and I shot the biggest bow buck I've ever shot in Mississippi, and my little brother happened to be running the camera. Brady, who's 9, was sitting there with me, and in fact, that's the first buck I've shot with a bow on our family farm where I grew up, and to have it, you know, to bring it home to mom and dad and all that was just, even though it just happened this year, it's going to be one of my most memorable hunts.
Is there any advice that you could give me or anybody else trying to start a YouTube channel?
Yeah, I mean, just get out there and film. Everything you do in the outdoors, have the camera running, whether it's with your cell phone or it's a good HD camera like you have, capture what you're doing. And we're so similar because like I had a big, huge VCR tape camera back in the day that I had gotten from our coach. He used to film the basketball and football games in high school, and I took it out in the woods back when I was in probably junior high. And I was just we were filming some duck hunts and turkey hunts and stuff. And even before we ran into Willie and thought we might make a career out of what I'm doing now, I had bought a camera. I watched eBay for like 2 months one time looking for an HD camera, because back then, I mean, there weren't a lot on the market that were quality enough, and I got one, and then I just started filming whatever I did, and I was hunting with my buddies and all that, and that gave me kind of a good idea when I started editing of what I thought was entertaining. Because I would edit stuff and show my friends, and they reacted to it and thought it was cool, and you know, it was fun showing it. I mean, as a hunter, like the ultimate thing when you kill a buck is what? You want to show it. You want to show it off, you know? And so now with the cameras, what you're doing, it's a way to share it with everybody out there. So my advice would be just keep filming, keep messing with the editing equipment, and that will make you a better videographer too, because as you're putting stuff together, you're like, man, I wish I had a cool tight shot of this for this, you know, segment or whatever. And instead of just, you know, you can always hunt on camera, but I knew how to edit. So when I was in the field hunting, and even to this day, I have a great field producer, Zach Krasieski for MLB, that is a very good editor. But when he's in the tree with me, I'm also thinking about shots he might need to get that help tell the hunting story. And so, you know, just keep editing and keep putting that stuff together, and the sky's the limit. Now, especially with YouTube channel, I mean, you see how many followers you have, and you can just keep building that up, and if people are entertained by what you're doing, and there are eyeballs on it, there's revenue to be made, and that's powerful. So as far as progressing into making this a living, the more eyeballs you have on what you're doing, and they're commenting and watching what you're wearing and all that kind of stuff, manufacturers see that and they go, hey, we need to have this kid with our brand on it, instead of the competitor, because you're going to speak to a lot of kids that are your age, that are younger, that you might inspire them to go, hey, I want to do that, I hunt like he does, you know, we have good ground to hunt on or whatever, and they're seeing what you're doing. So manufacturers are going to incentivize you to say, hey, wear our stuff, use our stuff. And that's how the business works. It's really how the world works to a certain extent, whether you're playing baseball or whatever it is. It's marketing. And the way our industry works for us to make a living is we hope we can show off that product in a good way that really tells you what it does in the field, and we believe in what we're using, same thing. And that's how you make it from just filming and having a YouTube channel with a bunch of people following you to going, hey, I could do this, and mom and dad will stay on your back to, you know, till you get a real job, because you can, you know, make good money. I mean, this industry is thriving now, and I mean, you know how many people hunt throughout the country, so it's a billion-dollar business, multi-billion-dollar business, and it's a fun living, you know, to be in. I mean, this is the type of stuff you get to do. I mean, we're at work in the booth here, you know, but it's really, you're talking to everybody that's passionate about the same thing. So everybody has a common bond, and, you know, it's a fun job. I mean, I've been blessed to play Major League Baseball and then be in this business, and the limelight TV type stuff is, that doesn't drive me. I just enjoy being able to be in the business, and when you're talking business, you're talking to people that get you and understand what you love, and that's what's cool. So, and you can be your own boss. So that's about it, man. That's what I got, man. Good luck to you. Keep up the good work, man. Y'all make sure you check out his page. He's got some cool hunts below.